Hello, my name is Suha Tamim. I'm a clinical associate professor at the University of South Carolina in the College of Education. So currently I work in the field of education, but my previous training was in public health and more specifically in health education and health behavior. So my interest in editing this book and writing this chapter in particular is the training I had, or the exposure I had in both the field of health education and then instructional design and education. So I found a lot of overlap, and I wanted to explore that. And I did that through my dissertation and now through this book. So in my training in health education and health behavior, like many of you, I was exposed to the health behavior theories and models and that explain why people behave the way they do in health, and then how we can design health education intervention for the purpose of health promotion. At the same time, in my training in instructional design, I learned about the basic principles of designing good instruction and how people learn and how we can design the instruction that suits them and fits them in order to also lead to behavior change in education, because by definition, education is ultimately leading to a certain change in behavior. So this first book in the edited book is about kind of laying the foundation of kind of the theoretical underpinning of health education. So it's not specific to eHealth and mHealth. It starts with kind of an overview of health education theories, and I focus on the four most popular ones reported in the literature, and this is the health belief model, the theory of reasoned action and theory of planned behavior, the trans-theoretical model of change, and the social cognitive theory. So, and in order to explain those in a way that is not very dry, I created a scenario. So as you learn about the theories, it will be through a scenario of someone, I call them Ryan, for whom we want to create a health education intervention. So we start by the determinants of his health behavior, and then how a health educator can, target these determinants in order to change them to promote his health. And then the second section of the chapter deals with the instructional design process. So again, because when we determine the needs of Ryan and what the health behavior changes that we need to address, then we need to design the instructions. So how do we design this health education instruction or the intervention? We need then to use sound guiding principles, instructional guiding principles. And what I suggested in the book, also there are many models of how, the best instruction design process and instruction design models and theories. So, but the most basic one is what we call ADDIE. And it starts with an analysis, which basically is when we are analyzing Ryan's behavior, we can know and target the Ryan's needs and what we need to address and include in the intervention. And then we design it. We choose the strategies that we want to use to also best address Ryan's behavior. And then we develop it, and then we evaluate it. So now we learned about the behavior and why Ryan is behaving this way, and then what are the principles that we need to keep in mind in order to design a good health education intervention. And then the last part of the chapter deals with kind of a systems thinking approach to health behavior change, because health behavior doesn't occur in vacuum, right? So our behavior is always linked to the systems that surround us, the environment that surround us. So there are also two models that I focus on that deal with that, and kind of give an overview of all the different parts that we need to take into consideration and as a health educator probably work with in order to optimize the health behavior. And these are the precede and proceed model and intervention mapping. So this is basically what the chapter is about. And like I said, the reason I wanted to focus on that is, first of all, to put kind of lay the foundation for the theoretical underpinning of eHealth and mHealth, but first health behavior and, health education in general, and then go from there, which in chapter 2, we focus more on eHealth and mHealth. And the people who I think that the people who would most benefit or would be interested in reading this book, this chapter, are of course, any student in the field of instructional design or in health education. Instructional design, especially instructional designers who are working in the field of health and health education, and also health educators who are designing instruction but are not probably aware of the instructional design principles, so they would benefit from that. And also, of course, it can be used as a reading in a class, or anybody who would like to know more about the interplay between health education and instructional design. So basically, that's it about the chapter. And I hope you find it beneficial. Thank you.